space for not only data and statistics, but also for lived experience. I am dressed in a Dress for Success dress. And one thing I'm grateful for this, it's not only the clothing on the outside, but the clothing on the inside that helps a woman move forward. And it's been extremely difficult, even 5 years post-release, to continue moving forward when you're faced with barriers all the time because of fear. Earlier this year, I achieved something that I've worked hard for.
Can you stand closer to the microphone?
This one? Sorry, so short. Earlier this year, I achieved something that I've worked hard for over the last 7 years. I exited the Centrelink system. I got an adult Opal card. And for anyone that knows me well, this was not due to lack of trying. I have a history of mental health problems since my teens, a history of domestic violence that I did not recognise, and a great work history. I now also have a criminal history. Mirko Budrick is a director of the Evidence-Based Sentencing and Criminal Justice Project at Swinburne University. He states that prison should be confined to those who scare us, not those who anger us. But I have found that as soon as you have the label of a criminal, people that don't know you, organisations and systems fear you. And this fear leads to exclusion, which compounds the exclusion already experienced by incarceration. This isolation is often part of the problem before offending, so to exclude is not rehabilitative at all. Many women that are affected by the criminal justice system have a history of trauma prior to offending, little stability in their lives. You have statistics in the brochure on your table. But once you're clothed with this stain of a criminal record, no one sees the prior trauma or how desperately someone is trying to move forward. They just see the stain. A few weeks before I was released, an officer said to me, "You'll be back." This is a common statement said on departure from a system that is supposed to support correction. I looked him in the eye and I said, "No, I won't." It was my first and only offence. And I saw the many broken lives of women in prison. Sadly, about 45% of people released from prison return. Consider these impacts. The total net cost of imprisonment is $391.18 per prisoner per day. Government payments to prisoners post-release are up to $529.80 per fortnight on New Start. There's increase in substance misuse post-release and the impact of prison on access to stable housing. I felt ashamed as a mother when my children had to pay my bills once I was back in the community. My main priority was to pay for my mortgage to keep my home. Even with an extensive work history, I feared applying for work. The tick the box for a criminal record check was like a mirror where the reflection was the greens of prison clothing every single time. The shame and fear prevailed with every application and the many knockbacks that came. I started my own business called Brazen Growth, but still need to pay bills along the way. I applied for a casual role in an inbound call centre that had a criminal history check as part of their recruitment process. Fed up with feeling the shame, I called and I said, "I'm applying for this role. Will you employ a woman with a criminal history because I've got one?" And I could hear the woman on the phone sort of get taken back, and she said, "Oh, would you mind explaining a little bit about that? Why did you go to prison?" So I said, "I would rather explain than you turn me away based on the tick in the box, or that once you get the police check, you see it on paper without hearing my story." So I had the chance to explain, and she said, "Okay, I'll give you a call back after I've spoken to my manager." And I thought, "Oh, I'm not going to get the call back." But 5 minutes later she did, and she said, "Yeah, that does not impact the role at all, we'll give you the job." And I thought, that's what she needed. We need to be able to tell our story, not just the tick in the box. There's a ban the box movement overseas, and I'm hoping that we bring that here. I'm 5 years post-release, and within my small business I was delivering an accredited course. This year I was discriminated against and de-accredited after 2 years of trying to build my business up. This cut about 30% of my income. My mental health went downhill for about 6 weeks, where I didn't want to be here anymore because I was exhausted from trying. Being able to contribute to the community has been a huge part of healing and rebuilding my life. To deny people affected by the criminal justice system opportunities to belong to society is a slap in the face for anyone who has paid the price for their wrongs. To deny reinforces stereotypes, stigma, and can inhibit restoration. To deny actually flies in the face of all organisations that work at reducing risk. I'm the Peer Support Coordinator for the Success Works program, an initiative of Dress for Success. We support women in job readiness, including how to write their resume, how to have an interview and answer those tricky questions, and help them to employment. We're also engaging with employers who are really embracing the concept of diversity and inclusivity and offering our women employment. Some women have been given confidence to apply for their own jobs. One such woman applied for 32 jobs and secured 8 interviews. During the second interview, she felt the need to disclose and was sent an email a week later, "We could not offer you the role because of your criminal record." But this did not deter her. She is now in her 12th week of full-time employment. She wrote in an email, "I'm only in this space because of you. If not for you, I would still be reluctant to apply for work. You have given me the confidence I needed. I am so grateful for all the support that I've been given through this program. It is wonderful." Another was offered work just this last week by a core hotel group, who are a bold organisation who are willing to give women a go. This woman's email stated, "Thank you so much. I'm excited about the opportunity and the company is amazing. I'm so happy to be back in travel. Thank you again. I'm so blessed to be involved with such an incredible organisation." Other employers who are on board with this are Harris Farm Markets, Australia Post, who are considering women on a case-by-case basis, Automotive Holdings Group, and we are meeting with Georges River Council's Diversity and Inclusion Committee next week. This is how success works. Together with employers seeing beyond the label and believing that everyone deserves a second chance. I will advocate for these women as I continue to advocate for myself. Your financial support to this program today says to us, we believe you can. And if you would like to employ a woman affected by the criminal justice system, please come and speak to me. Thank you.